appears in a House committee hearing today. What one senator is saying about the company's knowledge of the breach. Plus, we'll have the latest details in the Las Vegas mass shooting investigation. And Cam Newton sparks a debate with his response to a reporter's question. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Former Equifax CEO Richard Smith took the stand today after 3 days of hearings. Good evening, I'm Abby Grisey. Today was the fourth and final congressional hearing over the massive data breach at Equifax. Former Equifax CEO Richard Smith testified before the House Financial Services Committee this morning. Congress questioned Smith about the security breach that affected about 145.5 million consumers and why it took the company so long to report it.
I believe in the rule of law for everyone. I believe that you are innocent until proven guilty. But I will say that what you guys want us to believe as a committee, the U.S. Senate, the Congress, the investors in Equifax, and the entire nation, what y'all want us to believe is that the three luckiest investors who sold their stock did so without any knowledge that that suspicious activity may be bigger and more powerful than any other suspicious activity, perhaps in the history of the company. I find that hard to believe.
Several lawmakers also question why consumers should trust Equifax with the $7 million fraud protection contract with the IRS. We want to warn you that this next story might contain disturbing images or sounds. Las Vegas authorities are piecing together the events leading up to the deadly mass shooting over the weekend. Officials are trying to determine if the shooter acted alone and whether anyone knew what he was planning. Omar Jimenez has the latest details on the investigation.
As authorities slowly piece together the timeline and events surrounding Sunday's deadly shooting in Las Vegas, disturbing new details on the killer and his arsenal. Officials say the gunman had 50 pounds of explosives and 1,600 rounds of ammunition in his car in the hotel parking lot. It's possible he was preparing to flee after his attack, but ultimately took his own life.
He was doing everything possible to figure out how he could escape at that point. His concern was personal concern versus what was occurring down below him.
The shooter's suicide means authorities are left to piece together his motive through evidence and interviews, including conversations with his girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley. Authorities say she's cooperating with investigators since she arrived in Los Angeles from the Philippines on Tuesday. Speaking on her behalf, her attorney says she had no idea the shooter was planning the attack that left 58 people dead.
It never occurred to me in any way whatsoever that he was planning violence against anyone.
Keep your head down, go!
And police now have a clearer picture into the timing of the attack and the response.
We see muzzle flash from the Mandalay Bay!
Shots rang out from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel for 10 minutes between 10:05 and 10:15 p.m. By 11:20 p.m., police breached the shooter's suite and cleared the scene 7 minutes later, all part of a massive effort by police and first responders.
It's amazing the amount of work that took place at those hospitals, the dedication of those doctors, those nurses, and the staffs at those facilities that did such a great job.
In Las Vegas, I'm Omar Jimenez.
And Democrats continue to push for gun legislation. Representative Nancy Pelosi says this has become sort of a bipartisan issue.
We've asked the Speaker for a select committee on gun violence. You don't like these ideas? What ideas can we come together? This is a big issue in our country. It is overwhelmingly supported, the background checks by the American people, even by large numbers of members of the National Rifle Association, even though their organization doesn't support it.
But if we held off every week where there's a shooting, we would never introduce gun legislation. These topics shouldn't be any more taboo, frankly, than they are when a terrorist attack occurs and we ask, what do we do to stop terrorism?
Don't tell me this is about protecting the Second Amendment when you won't stand up for the First Amendment. Don't tell me this is about anything other than greed, money, and fear.
House Speaker Paul Ryan is also talking about congressional action, saying they need to take a look at the bump stock law. And the National Rifle Association says Congress should review whether those bump stock devices comply with federal law. The bump stock device was used by the Las Vegas shooter to turn his rifle into a fully automated weapon. The NRA has dismissed initial responses from lawmakers that call for more gun control. WOUB talked with Ohio Valley and Trading Exchange, a gun store in Athens. A worker told us the store has never sold bump stocks. Thousands of individuals face a deadline today to file an application to renew their legal status for another 2 years. Today, October 5th, is the last day for those eligible to reapply for DACA status in order to stay in the U.S. temporarily. President Trump says he wants to phase out the program, so this could potentially be DACA recipients' last chance to stay in the country legally. The Secret Service says it has no system to track who visits Mar-a-Lago. That revelation comes from a lawsuit where watchdog groups asked for visitor logs showing who President Trump has hosted at his Florida resort. Secret Service released a list of 22 visitors from February. Then they said they do not keep records of presidential visitors. President Obama used to release visitor logs 3 to 4 months after the visit, but the Trump administration has said they will not continue that practice. The National Space Council met today for the first time in over 20 years. It was disbanded in 1993, but President Trump reinstated it with Vice President Mike Pence as the chair.
By reviving the National Space Council, President Donald Trump has declared to all of the world, America will lead in space once again. America seems to have lost our edge in space, and those days are over.
The council is tasked with helping to decide what the United States should focus on for their space policies.
From the Newswatch Weather Center, I'm Matt Thigpen. Right now in Athens, we're seeing scattered showers across the southern portion of Athens County and into northern Meigs County. It's about 70 degrees here in Athens, though, and we're into the lower 70s across much of the region. Much of the region is in 67 in Columbus, 67 in Newark, 67 in New Martinsville, 69 in Marietta, and 72 over in Ironton. But those north winds will continue to push those showers towards the mountains. 62 for our dew point, and that pressure is right around 30 millibars. So we're 30 inches, so we're pretty good off. We have that cold front that'll lift to our west and northwest. The warm front will continue to move north. We'll see the warmer air move in for the beginning of our weekend. I'm ready for homecoming tonight. We'll settle down into the lower 60s, so it'll just be a beautiful evening. You can open those windows, but you might want to shut them because you might want to turn on the AC because it will be a little bit muggy out there, Abby.
Sounds great, Matt. Thank you. One Boston, Massachusetts boy will be getting a very special service dog. Take a look.
Can you run?
Yeah.
We first met Liam McGurty last year.
There you go, bud.
A huge Red Sox fan, he was thrilled to run the bases at Fenway.
I hear barking.
Today, he can't walk and uses a motorized wheelchair he calls the Green Monster.
My favorite color is green.
Frigid open.
Pauline Hegler runs Golden Opportunities for Independence in Walpole,
Light.
where she raises golden retrievers to work as service dogs.
Whoa.
And where Liam was on the waiting list for a furry companion. When Pauline's dog Bridget had a litter of 10 and she saw one with a green tint, she knew.
I called up Kristen and Jeff and I said, we have a puppy for Liam, and it happens to be green.
So cute.
Liam named the puppy Fenway.
I think that's cool that he was green once. When I first saw him, I felt happy.
Within the placenta, the mother has some bile and it, from what I understand, leaks into the sac and just kind of dyes his coat.
Fenway's green fur has faded. He's now the color he's supposed to be.
This is a ray of sunshine, you know what I mean, to land right in his lap.
The 5-week-old pup will be trained to become Liam's service dog, to be not only a companion, but to help Liam do some of the things he won't be able to do as his disease progresses.
It will be like a friend for me.
Until then, Liam visits his dog. Both have already fallen in love.
He's just so cute.
A teen charged in an Ohio school shooting is found competent to stand trial. This story and more when Newswatch returns.
University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
Hey everybody, I'm Gridiron Glory host Joseph Payton. Every Friday night live at 11:30, we will have a jam-packed show for you with everything that went down on the local gridiron that night. From every touchdown pass to every crushing hit, Gridiron Glory is your #1 source for all things Southeast Ohio football. So please be sure to tune into our show and also follow us on Twitter and Snapchat at Gridiron Glory, and of course like us on Facebook. I promise you won't want to miss out, because remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming. It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is. The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, this is it. And she said, the tour's just started. I said, no, you don't understand. This is it.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Champaign County courts say a teen charged in an Ohio school shooting is competent to stand trial. 17-year-old Eli Serna allegedly fired a shotgun at a West Liberty Salem High School classmate in January. He was charged as an adult and pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity of the shooting. Serna has been in a mental hospital because authorities said he posed a threat to himself and others. He will stay there until the trial. An Ohio school superintendent is on paid administrative leave after pleading guilty to drug charges. Police found Hamilton Local Schools Superintendent William Morrison III with crack cocaine in his car. The 54-year-old was arrested after police searched his vehicle while he was parked in an alley. Forensic scientists from the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation have tested over 13,000 rape kits for DNA matches. Attorney General Mike DeWine launched the initiative in 2011 to check previously untested kits. The testing has helped to identify hundreds of alleged attackers so far. As of October 1st, 13,145 kits have been tested. Along with all the homecoming activities this weekend, Athens residents will have another opportunity for fall fun at the Indian Mound Festival. The festival starts tomorrow and is at the community park in the Plains. It starts at 5 o'clock with a cruise-in and continues through Sunday. There will be mound tours, food and craft vendors, and a parade. President Trump causes social media to stir again after tossing paper towels to Hurricane Maria victims in Puerto Rico. That story's still ahead.
After the break, we'll take a look at the Friday forecast and when we'll see rain next and where's the fall temperatures. But first, here's a look at what happened on Wall Street today.
Professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become become a bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming. It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is. The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
Hey everybody, I'm Gridiron Glory host Joseph Payton. Every Friday night live at 11:30, we will have a jam-packed show for you with everything that went down on the local gridiron that night. From every touchdown pass to every crushing hit, Gridiron Glory is your #1 source for all things Southeast Ohio football. So please be sure to tune into our show and also follow us on Twitter and Snapchat at Gridiron Glory, and of course like us on Facebook. I promise you won't want to miss out, because remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
Tropical Storm Nate made landfall on Honduras just a few hours ago. The heavy rain has caused flash flooding and mudslides around Olancho, Honduras. By tomorrow, the center of the storm will move back into the Caribbean and likely intensify. And over the weekend, the storm will likely intensify again as it moves toward the Gulf Coast.
From the Newswatch Weather Center, I'm Matt Thigpen. And here in Athens, we're going to see our precip chances increase throughout the weekend. We're going to see a mild weekend, but don't worry, folks. A cool fall forecast is in the store. 70 degrees here in Athens, seeing those scattered showers continue to move off to the south and east as we head into the evening hours. Across the region, we're into the upper 60s and lower 70s. 70 here in Athens, 72 down in Ironton, 67 up in Columbus, and 66 over in Cambridge. Today we actually hit a high of 73 degrees, 69 is the normal. We hit a record of 91 degrees in 2007, but we're right on par for this time of year for that high and low. Now we need to look at this, because this will affect our weather. This will give us our fall cool down. Tropical Storm Nate is in the, like we had just talked about, down in Honduras, giving 20 to 30 inches of rainfall. It'll move up towards Louisiana and Florida, and eventually its remnants will hit Ohio as we're heading to Tuesday. Rainfall estimates are between 1 to 3 inches in our area, so that'll bring us some much needed rainfall into our area. Low pressure is centered right over the middle of the country, bringing this warm front, bringing warm air into the region. That's why we will see warm conditions into tomorrow and Saturday, increasing those rain chances as we head into Friday night. We start to see a few more showers start to pop up, but don't worry, folks, that'll go away before the parade, all the homecoming festivities start on Saturday. We'll see partly cloudy skies as we head into Saturday. Now tonight we're going to see 63 degrees, a fair fall night. Might be a little muggy out there, partly cloudy. It'll be a mild evening. Once again, those winds will be light and variable, so you won't have to worry about that hairspray getting out of control. 60 degrees down in Ironton. We'll say mostly cloudy skies for tonight. 62 in Athens, 60 in Columbus, so we'll stick into the lower 60s, a few spots in the upper 50s, but we'll be quite mild tonight. 63 here for our bus stop. Early morning fog like we've had the past couple nights. Muggy start once again, light and variable winds. Hour by hour for tomorrow. 8 a.m. we'll see cloudy skies. The fog and the clouds will dissipate by noontime. We'll see that bright sun shining. 74 degrees by noon, 80 by 4 p.m., and we'll just continue to climb. 82 will be our high for tomorrow. Mostly cloudy skies, but we'll see those peaks of sun in and out through the end of the day. The south winds pumping in more air, warm air, 0 to 5 miles per hour. Sneak peek at Football Friday. I know a couple homecoming games are out there. 62 degrees, pleasant evening, and it'll be great for that homecoming. Here we go. 65 degrees at the start of the parade at 8 a.m., 75 by the parade start, 84 by noon as we're wrapping it up and heading to Peden for the game. 85 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. We'll see peaks of sun and clouds. Weekend forecast 85 on Saturday, cooling down to 58 by Saturday evening. And our extended forecast looks like this. 80 on Sunday, showers and thunderstorms on Sunday and Monday, cooling down back to fall, 70 degrees on Thursday. Abby?
Thank you, Matt. Video captured President Trump playfully tossing paper towels to hurricane victims on his trip to Puerto Rico. Some shrugged it off, while others didn't seem to like it. CNN's Jeannie Moose reports.
This is how not to distribute aid, especially if, unlike paper towels, you're not very absorbent when it comes to criticism.
Well, the goofball's at it again.
Acting like, Steph Curry shooting paper towels to people.
Does he really think like the paper towels are to sop up the flood?
Look at that, I'm having fun. This one was a three-pointer.
Twitter was brutal. Here, Puerto Rico, have a paper towel, was the caption above photos of devastation. This isn't a giveaway, you're not Oprah, tweeted someone else. Our president is basically a t-shirt cannon, wrote a senior editor from Cosmo. Conservative David Frum tweeted, as if dispensing dog treats to pets. President Trump's towel tossing was compared to other presidents hugging disaster victims. But at least when the president jokingly threatened to lob a can of chicken, the crowd laughingly said no. They seem to be enjoying things. Amid the bounty of criticism, Trump supporters came to the president's defense. Trump just tried to make people laugh for a few minutes and he gets nothing but grief, commented one. Wrote another, oh geez, first they whine he's not in Puerto Rico, now they're pissed he's helping out. The president handed out other items normally and lobbed only 6 rolls of towels on camera, but that's the part that sticks.
He really puts the ass in compassion, doesn't he?
The president found himself compared to Marie Antoinette.
Let them eat paper towels.
The next time President Trump gets the urge to toss, maybe he better stick to his Make America, including Puerto Rico, Great Again hats. As former Democratic Congressman John Dingell tweeted, heck of a job, Brawny. Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Duncan Goldberg here with sports. Now that OU women's soccer team just finished up their game here at Ohio University against the Buffalo Bulls not too long ago. And Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton may be one of the best under center, but he's getting some backlash for some controversial statements made at the press mic. And stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Buddy, I'm Gridiron Glory host Joseph Payton. Every Friday night, live at 11:30, we will have a jam-packed show for you with everything that went down on the local gridiron that night. From every touchdown pass to every crushing hit, Gridiron Glory is your #1 source for all things Southeast Ohio football. So please be sure to tune into our show and also follow us on Twitter and Snapchat at Gridiron Glory, and of course like us on Facebook. I promise you won't want to miss out, because remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like we're having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, this is it. And she said, the tour's just started. I said, no, you don't understand. This is it.
Welcome back. I'm Duncan Goldberg. Less than an hour ago at Chesa Field, the Ohio University women's soccer team fell to the University of Buffalo 2-1 in a gut-wrenching defeat. With only 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game, the Lady Bobcats were up 1-0, but at this point, the Lady Bulls would tie it up and make it 1-1. And then, with only 4 minutes remaining, the Lady Bulls would score another goal to go up 2-1 and leave Ohio University with a big comeback victory. This is a tough loss to swallow for the Bobcats as they fall to 2-1 in MAC play. From the soccer field to the volleyball court, tonight at 7 p.m., the Ohio University women's volleyball team will be taking on the Golden Flashes, the Kent State Golden Flashes, as they will look to move up from their as they will try to improve on their 8-10 record. And now the Bobcats lead this series with 51 wins and 21 losses. Now, moving back to the field, the Ohio women's field hockey team will take on Longwood Lancers tomorrow night at 5 p.m. here at Ohio University. This season, the Bobcats are currently 3-8 overall and 1-2 in the MAC. Longwood is in fact a MAC opponent and stands at 9-2 and 2-0 in the MAC this season. After last Saturday's 2-0 win over Central Michigan, the Bobcats are looking to continue their winning streak. The Cats are currently tied with the Lancers with an all-time season career series of 2-2 and will look to move above the 500 mark against them. Now, Carolina Panthers star quarterback Cam Newton is making headlines from a controversial statement made to a female Carolina Panthers beat reporter from yesterday's press conference.
It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Like, it's funny.
Newton's laughing at her response to a question that she asked about routes, but some people are kind of surprised in what Cam Newton said, and for the women, she's just asking a passing route, so there's a lot of things that are going on there. The intention of his remarks are still unclear, but it's safe to say that there has been some backlash to what Cam Newton has said. And earlier today, Dannon pulled their sponsorship from him. Now moving back now to the Indians, they are playing tonight at 7:38 p.m. as they will be facing on the Yankees. The Yankees are fresh off their wild card victory over the Minnesota Twins that propelled them to series victory to this series against the Indians. The Indians will not be sending out their ace pitcher tonight in Corey Kluber, but instead will be sending out Trevor Bauer. Bauer is no slouch, though, as he has been very dominant in the second half of the regular season for the Indians and ended the season with 17 wins and 9 losses, all recording 196 strikeouts and 176 in the third innings. The Yankees will be sending out a very good pitcher in Sonny Gray, who has a 3.55 ERA this season. First pitch is set for 7:38 tonight at Progressive Field. That's all for me at sports. Abby, back to you.
Thank you, Duncan. Ohio University's homecoming is this weekend, and events are being held leading up to the football game. Starting at 8:30 tonight, the Yell Like Hell pep rally will be held in the Baker Center parking lot. Tomorrow, there will be hay rides at the Ridges as well as an alumni awards gala. And on Saturday, before the football game at 2 o'clock, you can watch the homecoming parade live stream on woub.org/now. Matt, how's the weather looking for this weekend?
Well, it's looking great for tonight for that prep rally. 63 degrees. Let's all run on down there right after this newscast. 82 degrees for tomorrow for Friday, ending out the work week. Mostly cloudy skies. The weekend forecast homecoming for that homecoming parade will warm up nicely to 85 degrees, so it'll be nice and warm for that game. So shorts and t-shirt will be the go-to this weekend. 58 will cool down on Saturday evening. Sunday we'll see showers and thunderstorms move into the region as we see a cold front and the remnants of Tropical Storm Nate head our way. The extended forecast Sunday, Monday comes that rain showers, Tuesday included, tapering off Wednesday and Thursday, back to fall, 70 degrees. Abby?
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Abby Grisey. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at woub.org. Have a great night.
Everybody, I'm Gridiron Glory host Joseph Payton. Every Friday night, live at 11:30, we will have a jam-packed show for you with everything that went down on the local gridiron that night. From every touchdown pass to every crushing hit, Gridiron Glory is your #1 source for all things Southeast Ohio football. So please be sure to tune into our show and also follow us on Twitter and Snapchat at Gridiron Glory, and of course like us on Facebook. I promise you won't want to miss out, because remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.